Welcome to the Deep Dive. We pull out the key knowledge you need, fast. So, here's something many of us wonder about. Telemedicine. It seems so promising, right? But why isn't it, just a standard part of hospital care everywhere? Today we're digging into a systematic review that tried to figure out how hospitals are actually evaluating the telemedicine services they've already got up and running.
Exactly. And what we're going to unpack is how they're measuring success. Or maybe how they're not measuring it effectively. This really gets to the heart of why telemedicine might still be struggling to become, well, completely mainstream.
Okay, so this core problem, the review itself says telemedicine has a poor record of adoption. It often gets stuck in the trial phase. And this isn't new. They flagged this way back in 1999. It's kind of wild, isn't it?
It really is. It shows it's not just about having shiny new technology. It's about successful integration, making it work day to day.
So getting it embedded in the system.
Precisely. And that's why the review was smart about which services it looked at. They specifically hunted for established services, the ones with regular, recurrent funding, not just temporary pilots.
Okay. So they wanted to see what's happening with services intended to be permanent.
Exactly. That way we get a clearer picture of what's really sticking in routine care versus what's just an experiment.
Right. So if they looked at these established services, how was success measured? Or was it? The study found 137 actual telemedicine services. But here's where it gets pretty eye-opening.
Yeah, this is the striking part.
Almost half of them, 50.6%, so just over half, basically just described what they did. No evaluation measures reported. None.
It's quite something. Just here's what we do. No data on whether it worked well or saved money or if patients liked it.
So for the other half, the ones that did report something, what were they looking at?
Okay, so for those that did evaluate, they tended to focus on three main things. First up, clinical outcomes. This is the stuff you'd expect, right? Like length of stay in the hospital, complication rates, morbidity, and mortality rates.
Makes sense. Did certain specialties focus on this more?
Yeah, neurology came up most often. They use tools like the modified ranking scale, which measures disability after things like stroke. But here's a really key detail. The review found no randomized controlled trials RCTs looking at clinical outcomes. It was mostly observational studies.
No RCTs. That's usually the gold standard for clinical evidence, isn't it?
It is. So relying on observational studies means it's harder to be certain the outcomes are purely down to the telemedicine itself.
Okay, what was the second area they looked at?
Economic analysis.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out the financial side, they looked at things like cost avoidance, cost savings, travel savings for patients was a big one, or sometimes added revenue for the hospital.
Right, the bottom line. Did they find clear savings?
Well, here's the catch the review noted. Most of these were pretty simple cost analyses, or what's called cost minimization. And crucially, these methods often assume the benefit, the quality of care, is exactly the same between telemedicine and traditional care.
So they're comparing costs, but assuming the product is identical, which might not be true.
Exactly. It raises a big question. Are we getting a true picture of the economic value if we aren't rigorously comparing both the costs and the benefits or outcomes side by side?
That feels like a major gap.
Yeah.
You might be saving money, but compromising care. Or maybe telemedicine is better and the cost saving is just a bonus. But you wouldn't know from that simple analysis.
Precisely. And the third area was satisfaction, both for the doctors and nurses using it, and for the patients, the consumers. They looked at things like comfort using the tech, feelings about privacy, whether the tech actually worked well.
Okay, and satisfaction seems important for adoption. How well was that measured?
Well, this is another sort of oof moment. They found 33 studies used questionnaires for satisfaction. But get this, only 4 of those, just 12.1%, reported using a validated questionnaire.
Only 4 out of 33. So most were using maybe homegrown surveys. Ones we don't know are actually reliable, or measuring what they think they're measuring.
Pretty much. It's like asking for opinions using a survey someone just quickly typed up. You get an answer, but you don't know how meaningful it really is.
Wow. Okay, so clinical outcomes without RCTs,
Yeah.
economic analysis with big assumptions, and satisfaction measured with mostly unvalidated tools.
It paints a picture, doesn't it? And it connects to another major finding, or rather, a lack of finding. There was very little information about structured planning. Figuring out the needs before setting up the service.
Like doing a needs assessment first.
Exactly. Only about 18% of the studies even mention having a clear 2-step process for implementation and evaluation. The fact that planning was so rarely reported suggests maybe it wasn't prioritized, and that makes it really hard for other hospitals to learn how to set up services that will actually last.
Right, if you don't know how the successful ones were planned, how can you replicate it? It's like missing the first chapter of the instruction manual.
That's a good way to put it.
So, bringing this all together for you listening, what's the big takeaway? It seems the slow pace of telemedicine becoming routine isn't just about the tech itself.
No, it's fundamentally an evaluation and planning challenge. The evidence we're gathering often isn't robust enough. The data really screams for more rigorous methods, maybe combining different types of evaluation, and definitely putting way more focus on strategic planning right from the start.
Because knowledge is great, but it's only truly valuable if it's based on solid evidence and we can apply it effectively.
Couldn't agree more. We need better evidence to make better decisions.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. Thinking beyond just telemedicine, what other valuable innovations in healthcare or elsewhere might be stuck in limbo? What potential breakthroughs are we missing out on simply because we aren't properly planning their rollout or measuring their true impact beyond that initial pilot phase?